G'day everyone, Matt from Panda Garage. This video is a bit last second. I'm actually wearing my work uniform still. Not fully prepared for this. As you can see, I'm filming on my phone. But it was an idea I sort of thought of in the early hours of this morning, and that is the Vectra's roof. Now, as you can see, the clear coat has well and truly faded off. And as like most European cars, the paint doesn't usually stand up to the Australian elements, I should say. Getting tongue-tied here at the moment. So what I thought today is I've got my new sander sitting in the background there. I've actually used that on the house, but you can use it on cars and that. It's an orbital sander. That one's just from Super Cheap. Got that for, I think, my birthday last year, which was been a while. But what I'm going to do today is I've got some 800 grit sandpaper. I'm actually going to sand the roof because we've been looking at debating whether or not we paint this or if we actually put vinyl on it, make it either black or go to a colour similar to the paint on here, as I do have a tin of it left. So join me on Panda Garage here today. We're going to do as best we can to show you, because I'm filming on my phone, I haven't got anything else. So roll the intro. So as you can see, paint just classically missing in all kinds of spots. So I'm going to focus sort of in on these at the moment, but I wouldn't mind doing the whole roof. But I think I might focus down here first, sort of where it's a bit easier to get a hold of. I may need to do a little bit first, then show you guys, and then I can come back and try and mount this in a way where you guys can watch me do it. So this is my Rockwell orbital sander. It's actually pretty sweet. I've used it to build some shelving and sand down some shelving and wood and that at home, but I've never used it on the car. But the main reason I wanted this was to actually work on a new project, but because of COVID, that got bumped back, so I'm not too sure when I'll start that. But I thought I might as well use it right now for that roof. So I've got 800 grit sandpaper here. Just found this at Super Cheap. It's perforated, because this is perforated, and then it should go into that bag. I'm wondering if I can actually modify it to take my hose for my vacuum. That'd be pretty sweet. But I'm going to use this now. I'm going to have a bit of a test run, and if it goes horribly wrong, you won't see it, and if it goes well, then you guys will see it next. Okay, this actual polisher is pretty sweet. I shouldn't say polisher. This is a sander. Try to get a little bit on the edge here. It's a bit hard with an orbital sander to sort of get finer sort of spots. As you can see, I sort of skinned the plastic a little bit too much, but as you can see, it's actually bringing up a lot of the clear coat there. You can see where the clear coat has faded and it's gone into the paint. But yeah, it's feeling pretty smooth actually. Like, it's 800 grit, so it's like pretty fine. Like, it's not completely like mirror polishing, but I keep saying polishing, it's sanding. So it's really good. That's actually working really well. I'm really happy with that, because that's what I've been wanting to use it for long term. So I might continue doing the rest of the roof and see how it turns out. Okay, so this is a few passes. As you can see, it sort of looks a little bit better on this side. It's a bit hazy because of, as you can see, you can sort of see where the angle of the roof starts, and the sander doesn't quite go around the bend, but across the other side, this side's been mostly done. Even though you can't really see it too much, there is that transition a little bit there, but everywhere else is like pretty silky smooth. Like, that's silky. That's a bit grainy, but if you got this a polish, might give it a try just in a few spots and see how it turns out. But yeah, definitely paint is going to be required on this roof, and maybe a little bit of filler to sort of lift this up slightly again, because as you can hear, it's still not right. So getting there, learning. That's pretty much all I do on this channel, is try and learn things. So I tried just a little bit of basic polish and it actually smoothed up pretty nice. Like, this feels really good at the moment. It doesn't grip it at all, and that's only 800 grit. I know you've got to go to like 1,000 and 2,000 to get super smooth and glossy. But what I did on the other side here is that I pretty much did the exact same thing, but I've started working in the middle with 120 grit. Now, probably that's a bit too aggressive, but because there's some spots here that weren't coming down by the 800 grit, I thought I might as well give it a try, because pretty much it's going to get painted anyway, or it's getting vinyl wrapped. So I'm just sort of experimenting and learning sort of how that rotary orbital sander works, and sort of working it out myself, because I've never really done this fully. I've done it all by hand before, but never with an actual power tool, so it's quite interesting. Also, soon we're going to sand this down in the future and paint these too, which will be good. Yeah, so paint those soon, and then yeah, so I'm going to continue on with this, and I'll catch you guys up when I'm sort of feel like I've made progress. I know this looks worse for wear, but this is 800 grit after all, and it really has like smoothed it out. I mean, I did go to 120 grit and I did that, which I'm not overly proud about, and that as well. But overall, I'm liking the way it's coming up. There's some spots that are still like rough as guts around the edges of the clear coat, so I'm going to work on that. But I think we might have to like either go down the sandpaper like to a 600 maybe and really fine that, and then go up to like a 1000, 1200 grit to really smooth it out. But even if this becomes like a good surface just to put vinyl on, I'll be pretty happy. So at the moment I'm going to see if I can do any more to this, but it's basically just me checking up and showing you guys the progress. I really do need to wash this as well, give it a good clean. Okay, I'm editing this right now, and the footage that I had in between these two shots was missing now. Last night I was editing a bunch of stuff for the first time in a while, and I accidentally deleted the more finished version of this edit, and with that I lost all the footage off my phone. I luckily saved most of it on the computer, but this one scene for some reason is missing. So basically what I was saying is that it's got me about 8-9 months before I actually finish this off. So between the last shot you just saw and the next shot was about 8-9 months. So it could have even been longer, to be honest. So yeah, that was the part that was missing. And let's continue on watching whatever this is. Okay, so just going to fix up this little rust spot with a bit of primer. Going to actually try and primer the rest of the roof as well. Just got to give it a quick little wipe down, and then we can start. So I'm just trying to build up a little bit of a layer, because some of this clear coat, well, a lot of it has come off. I did sand it back, but it's still looking a bit shabby. So going to prime up this little spot where I went a bit too aggressive with the sander, because I'd only just got it. And yeah, hopefully this doesn't end in too much of a disaster. Well, good news and bad news. Good news, it seems like it's actually doing all right. There's a few spots where the filler is sort of cracking slightly. I don't know why, but I think it might be just because there's not enough coats on it yet. I've ran out of paint, which isn't a great thing. I'm going to look up and see if I can buy a can of this and not get it pre-mixed, because if I do, it's going to cost me like 80 bucks or something, which is very frustrating. So I'm going to look up this, and if we can get this continuing today, then I'm going to. I really want to finish this roof off. It'd be nice to actually finish a project lately, because I haven't really finished a whole lot of them. So I'll be right back, guys. Hopefully this isn't in a year's time like the last time. So let's see how we go. Okay, so I'm back from the shop. I ended up deciding to go a different direction, seeing that paint's going to be so expensive to do this. So what we've gone with is a duplicolor Plastidip essentially. Bought this just down the store because it was the only one I could get. You couldn't actually get Plastidip, so gonna go with this for the roof. It's a bit more straightforward, and also it should fill in some of the imperfections that I found once the paint dried. So I'll show you guys that, and then we'll get started on this. Never used this before, be interesting to see what it's like. So bit of a review halfway through this, or at the end, I don't know. This video has gone on way too long. So I end up getting half the roof done, and really in some spots it's actually coming up pretty nice. Like, it's a pretty good color match. Just need a few extra layers, but I think going with the black Plastidip on the roof, it's something I was thinking about doing in the first place. Originally I was going to vinyl wrap the roof, but in the end Plastidip would be a pretty good option. So I'll get you guys set up on the tripod. I'm going to get started with this Plastidip, and let's see what the first coat ends up looking like. Okay, so we've done the first coat. It's actually looking not too bad. The application's pretty good. I had read that this one can run a little bit, but I've seen a few little spots where that might be happening, but I think I've just got to keep the nozzle a bit more consistent. So now we have to do this a whole bunch of times and get a bit repetitive, but I think we've got about 5 minutes to wait for this coat, and then we'll continue on. So about probably 6 or 7 coats later, this product's not the greatest. I probably wouldn't recommend it if you're trying to paint any panels. Maybe it might work better on wheels, but I was having a lot of issues with the duplicolor. The problem with this stuff is that it speckles a lot. It's inconsistent with its spraying, and it seems to have an issue with trying to get the paint out and not letting aerosol out, and I started getting streaks. I've sort of fixed it now by spraying a bit higher up, so it does get that matte finish, but on certain angles you can just see the stripes on this thing, and it has just had a light coat put over it to finish the cans off, but I end up using 2 cans for the roof. Yeah, probably wouldn't recommend it. You're probably best going with Plastidip if you're going to try and do this. I would have done that, but no one stocked the matte finish, and that was supposedly the best one to use. They had the glossy, but everyone said that it doesn't finish well at all, and it's not worth the money. So I thought I'd go with this. It looks pretty good-ish. I'm not going to say it's great. We do have issues here too. We're getting doors fixed on both sides, so some things did fly into the paint. But in terms of like the condition of the car, it is looking a bit old and worse for wear these days. It has had like a 20-something year life, so not too bad. I'm going to peel off all this tape and then see how we went from there. Okay, so in the end, didn't turn out too bad. I wish I had doors that shut, and I wish I had a bit more prep time with it, but I mean, there's a few spots at the front where we missed, which is a bit frustrating, but I might have to tape it off again and just use whatever's left in these cans. But overall, looks pretty good. I just wanted the roof to look a bit nicer. I think we're just going to auction this and move on, because we've still got too many cars and this one just doesn't get used anymore, so it's in a bit of a state now. But the roof looks a lot nicer than it did. It was completely patchy, like that little strip there, just all over. And as you would have seen at the start of this video, it was in pretty bad nick. So I'm glad it's like that, and whoever buys it next, if they want to peel it off, they can. And it's all primed underneath, ready to go. Alright guys, so a year later, we're finally done with this. Took a few turns that I was not expecting, and we've finished off with a matte black roof, which I think looks pretty good. The car overall just needs a bit of a clean and polish. Did have a little bit of overspray on the front here, but that should come off pretty easy. So yeah, if there's any painting people out there, or people that do it at home, that might be able to give me some more tips if you've watched this far in the video, give me a comment down below. Really appreciate it, because I do want to get better at it. It's one of those parts that's of like working at home and working stuff for yourself that I'm still working on and trying to learn. So greatly appreciate it if anyone out there can give me a hand. So thank you all so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and like. I know it's right at the end of the video, and this video is probably 100 minutes long or whatever it is. But yeah, I greatly appreciate it if you stick by. And yeah, until next time, guys, my name's Matt. This has been Panda Garage. We finally finished that after a year. I'll see you all next time.